Well, do you want to see your little table? Johnny worked really hard on it.
Oh, shucks. Wow. I feel so cool.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just your homie. Like I'm not like some.
But you're our first guest.
Oh, first. This is what you guys use for the podcast?
Yeah, I just picked this up. It's a
My goddad used to use a blue, and those are really good.
Yeah, and they're really good for this one specifically for podcasting. Yeah, and it picks up acoustics really well.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been
we're
playing.
recording right now.
Yeah.
San Diego.
Because the name is friggin' Day, but I'm an MC, so call me Daego.
Alright, so should we do the intro thing now?
Let's do the intro thing.
Record our little intro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm M. Sal.
And I'm Nemo Wayfinder.
And this is Music in Transition.
Drugs, nope, thugs, joke, don't you know it's how I flow, I turn it to gold, like the atmosphere told me to
And today's a really special day because we have two hilarious, wonderful guests on. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name is Daeg Ferk, MC named Daego.
I'm Daego's mom. I'm Daeg's mom, and I'm active creatively.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Yep, two big players in the creative scene in San Diego here. It also happens to be 420 today.
Happy 420, everybody.
Make a lighter sound. Alright, cool. And so today we have met up to interview Daego about a mixtape that he's dropping Friday.
Yeah, me, myself, and I this Friday.
What time Friday?
It's a surprise. I haven't figured that out. I know some artists have a time that they usually go for, whatever day they decide to release something. But
Daego time.
Yeah, Daego time. Yeah, it'll be about approximately Daego time. I know past the day.
Alright, cool. So one of my favorite things about this mixtape is that you recorded it in this very studio.
Yeah, super dope. Just the place.
We call it the Place Studios.
Which is amazing because the first studio I ever used was the Place to Be, so I just went from the Place to Be to the Place, and it's still the Place to Be. So it's like
you didn't even
amazing.
have to move at all,
right? Yeah.
Well, and it's also we mentioned on a previous episode that it's your condenser mic that
right?
that we've been using on our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Is it cool that I mentioned you? Actually, do you want to be on the show?"
Right? Yeah. And I'm like, "Well, dude, I'm dropping a mixtape on Friday, so yeah."
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about the mixtape. There's 6 tracks on it, right?
Yeah, it's a 6-track mixtape. It's about, I'd say, a little more than 12 minutes long. One of the tracks isn't a song. I won't go too much further into that, but you guys will listen to it and find out from there. There's some pretty hard-hitting songs in there, from just some real life experiences. Like the first song is just from losing a friend due to drama. And yeah, so I mean, not like lost, like he's just somewhere else doing his own dramatic thing that I don't care about. And then yeah, I mean, just more songs on it, I guess. Like the last song is really fun actually because that's I'd say the longest song, and I just freestyled that. So that was completely different to make because I'm used to writing a song and then having the production, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw these lyrics on this. I record it and then I edit that because the lyrics are the map.
Yeah.
But the freestyle, it was insane because I recorded 8 different freestyles and then I just decided to do 2 hype tracks and was just hoping for the best. And I got so frustrated so many times because I was like, oh my god, this is so much freestyle. It's
did you splice them or?
That's exactly what I did.
Oh
I lined them up. Friggin' 8 4-minute instrumentals. I just lined them up and started chopping. I was like, this sucks. This sucks. This sucks, this sucks, this sucks, and then I was left with a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, well, now I gotta kind of line it up, and then I still ended up getting rid of a shit ton more.
Well, it's funny that you say fun because when I was listening to it, the word that came to mind was that you were kind of playing with it.
Yeah, right.
You were playing with the genre and you were playing with your own vocals and your own concepts of yourself as a rapper.
It was definitely a test song, just kind of just seeing how this works.
Yeah, you have a literal self-interview on your your mixtape, and then you have this kind of I don't know, like
Just
artistic
Daeg style
self-interview.
song.
Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing right
Right.
now? Which is great. I loved it.
So you usually write the lyrics before you write the beat?
Usually, yeah. I have so many lyrics that sometimes I'll just like make a beat, and then I'm like,
What matches?
yeah, I'm like this kind of stuff, and I'm like, there's this one verse that I wrote like a few months ago that I think would be epic. So then I like take that, and actually for 2 of the songs, I just kind of I took those like 2 old verses and I made the hook off top. Like to the beat, you know, I was just kind of like in the studio and recording it, and I was like, oh, boom, came up with the hook right then and there. So that was, it's all it's a learning process, because like I've only been rapping for 3 years and producing for like 6 months now, and it's like this is my first time just doing everything. Like I had my homie David Schultz, he's in college now in like Nashville, he goes by 2B if y'all want to check him out, he's a DJ, but he's helped me out before this, but now that he's in Nashville, you know, I just kind of like took it all under my wing. This is my little baby, so I'm proud of it, but I'm nervous to like let it out and stuff. So definitely interesting.
What was that process like? That learning process, like?
Frustrating at times. Other times I'm just like, I feel like a fucking boss, and other times I'm just like, this is so frustrating. There's so much. Like, what did I do wrong or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's very back and forth.
So speaking of your learning process, from what I know about this mixtape, you used Logic Pro.
Logic Pro, yeah.
A MacBook Air.
Yeah.
The MXL 990 condenser mic.
Mm-hmm.
And my little interface.
Yeah.
Was that like all the equipment you used?
Yeah, I mean, other than the stand holding the mic, the cords
Yeah,
in between everything,
right.
and the headphones. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
no, the first song, 32 Bar Murder. No. First song, I produced on my Mac at home, because this was before I got a little Mac laptop.
I was wondering about that too, because if you've been producing for 6 months, that means you switched your gear like 2 months.
Well,
in,
technically,
right?
Okay, so technically I got Logic Pro X 3 years ago on my Mac at home. But or maybe it was 2 years ago.
1 year.
1 year, you think? Really? Oh, okay.
Well,
1 year.
Feels like forever.
I got that shit when I was born. I came out like, No, but like, yeah, when I first got it, I was kind of messing around on it, and it was difficult. It was weird. Like, I don't know, I've played instruments before, but I definitely have more of like it's like a mathematical brain to lay beats out than to tell you like the chords and the tunes in between them.
It looks like film editing to me when you do it.
Yeah, well, that's what I really love about Logic Pro, because I've used Final Cut Pro before, and it's almost similar, except, you know, for film to music, and it's so user friendly. Anything you don't know, you can just find on YouTube on it too. But basically, I took a break, and I was almost kind of making like soundtracks rather than songs, because it was really hard to just make a song at first. But then I took a break, and I was just rapping and freestyling with my friends all the time, listening to YouTube beats and stuff. And then I kind of like found what I like to rap on, what I'm good at rapping on, what I like the sounds of, you know? And then I kind of hopped back onto it, and it just started happening. I was like, oh, okay, so I can do this now. That's cool.
So you had to develop your understanding of your own music.
Yeah,
before you could, like,
yeah, because I
really
can't just
use
hop
the
in there and be like, I'm
technology.
going to make a DJ Mustard type beat, you know?
Yeah. Now that I have technology, I can make music. Right?
Yeah, right, yeah. So it's like you got to find what the sparks in you will catch fire to, because, you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to, like, it sounds like you talked about, like, a lot of things in that at once, though, because
Right.
it's like you're seeking your inspiration
Mm-hmm.
and, like, paying attention to what inspires you and, like,
How
devouring
that can sound. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Exactly.
also it sounds like you work on it every day.
Yeah.
You're like,
Pretty much.
that was like part of a sentence you just mentioned, but that's a really important thing. You
Yeah.
freestyle every day.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, because, well, I mean, I've always wanted to be a rapper for a while, just because it's like, I mean, I was born and raised on El Cajon Boulevard, you know, so it was kind of just like, it was around, you know?
Yeah.
But, it was pretty much after an injury, like 4-ish years ago, I just kind of just started rapping, you know? And about, like, 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years, about 3 years ago, I kind of made, like, the conscious effort I was like, you know, if I want to do this, and if I practice daily, I will get better. It's something Mod's son has brought up, and it's like, if you want to be a painter, what do? You go and buy the stuff, and you make a painting. Next day you make a painting. Next day you make a painting. So on and so forth. Laws of reality. You become a painter because you have your style, and it becomes a great style. And
one thing I've been hearing a lot lately too, with like things I've been looking at, is that you are what you habitually do, right?
Oh yeah, right.
And so, like, if you want to be a rapper and you rap every day, you become a rapper.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, and I also like that. I like that you're not struggling with like perfectionism and the way that like so many artists do leash themselves by being like, this doesn't sound like Kendrick Lamar's.
To tell you the truth, it's a lot easier now that I'm doing it all myself. Like, this mixtape is all myself, so there's only one person for me to bitch at.
Myself and I.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I can't just like, because when I'm working with a producer or someone else doing this, even just a YouTube beat, it's like, oh, I hear something kind of different, but this will work. Sure, this will work. But like when I hear it, I can just make it, and it's like, I know it's not going to be perfect. I'm no master at mix and mastering because I have learned that myself just online and stuff, and from a few tips here and there, like where to push and what to kind of listen for, and you know what to type in and whatnot. But it's definitely my art, and it was cool because one of my friends asked me like what style of rap I am, and I was like, God, I don't even know. So I looked over to my girlfriend the other day, and I was like, what would you say? And she was just like, I don't know. It's just very Daego. And I was like, fuck yes. Like, I got my own style going now.
Well, we had a really long conversation about communication the other day, and I feel like something really important in what you're saying about you don't have to work through someone else. You don't have to worry about that mistranslation happening.
Yeah.
You get to do what you want to do because you're learning it all yourself.
Right.
And you've done it all yourself.
It seems important to me that if you are doing it all yourself, that you can identify your different identities, and I feel like artists have to create alter egos.
Right,
That's something we've talked about before too. And so if you're going to like, if you're like, okay, I'm putting out my first mixtape, it's your first one you've done by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're like, I'm putting out my first mixtape, it's important that you establish the boundaries of those dialogues, because you still have to have those conversations,
right?
You know, being alone, like, you can't stop having those conversations. Like, there's still things that have to be said when you're making music. So I think it's really cool how like you enabled yourself to do that.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, I also wanted to talk about so your little MacBook Air. You made all of your beats on that, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Those little tiny buttons.
I know. Eventually, I'll probably end up getting like a MIDI keyboard. You know, like every legit producer.
You want to get like a full size one?
Probably no. Like just like I don't know. However,
lap size.
Yeah, lap size. There we go. Lap size MIDI. Because I mean, it works. This completely works, and keyboard is the only thing I've used so far while producing. So I'm not like against it or anything. If it was one of those, what do you call them?
Ergonomic.
If it was an ergonomic keyboard, that would be a little bit cooler. But whatever, you know. Hopefully, I'll get a MIDI keyboard before I get carpal tunnel.
Oh man. It's a race against carpal tunnel.
Cool. Well, so one thing you talk about a lot, and you're always repping, and it's in your name, is being born and raised in San Diego.
Yeah.
What kind of effect has that had on your art? Like, how you create your art?
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like I am very San Diegan.
Yeah.
Like, to the max.
What does that mean?
I don't even know. It's just like, I am so like, I don't know, man. Like, all I eat is tacos, like, off top, you know? Like,
no, that's so true.
Yeah,
that's
right?
Such a
like,
real part of people.
I don't know. I'm like Canadian citizen and like Danish blood. I feel like I look Californian because of my long blonde hair. Everyone always thinks I surf. I don't surf. But I don't know, man. San Diego, like, I guess it's a little bullshitty. But you look so much
like a San Diegan that people think you surf.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I love San Diego. It's like a love-hate, you know, because it's very touristy here. So
that kind of
gets
to me.
Yeah, and I mean, we're right next to like Hollywood and stuff, and like, you know, the entertainment industry is one of the like the nastiest industries, kind of. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just like,
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, San Diego's beautiful. You know, you surround yourself with the right people, and
Yeah.
I love it.
So, do you have like a good network of artists here? Do you have like a good like peer group here that inspires you?
I
and
guess
moves
so.
you
Yeah, I
forward?
mean, we keep it small. You know, like leave the room for drama elsewhere. Not in our little group of
You get a lot
friends.
from me. You
Oh
do.
yeah, right, yeah. Because my mom's a super big artist. She's just been arting since.
I thought
she
you
was
meant
my
he gets
age.
a lot of drama from you.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't getting that. Only when it's
Not,
staged.
not too much. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but yeah, I've got a few friends, you know, and we're all doing the same stuff, and that's what you want to do. You want to surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing as you, because, you know, as messed up as it is, eagles don't fly with pigeons. So if you want to be this type of eagle, fly with that type of eagles, you know.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I've been like reading about a lot lately too. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
you're saying like all the stuff that's in like the like personal development. Shit
Right,
that I-
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are your friends freestyling on your mixtape at all?
No, not well. No. This is all just me, myself, and I.
Okay.
Yeah. But I am in talks with one of my other friends who is producing, and he has I don't know, he produces some really good beats, I'd say too. But he's older, and he makes like more boom bop, old school hip hop beats.
Yeah.
So I think we might make a mixtape, kind of like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole's new mixtape, where I just do 2 of his instrumentals and he does 2 of my instrumentals.
Ooh, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
so we're not gonna rap on the same song, but he would just be rapping on my instrument. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be epic.
Well, so one thing about being a San Diegan, what was music education like in schools?
Oh goodness, yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Freaking, kind of shitty.
I took you to School of Rock.
Well, yeah, no, Mom, that's School of Rock.
Yeah.
We went to a program and had to pay for me to learn music.
Yeah.
It should be taught in public school
And I
systems.
took you to my friends who gave you
It should be taught in
lessons,
public school systems
it
is
should
the
be.
idea that we're
Yes.
getting at.
So you personally got a good music education.
I got some music education.
But you
I
weren't
played
provided it through the
piano,
public school
guitar,
system.
bass, drums before the laptop. As far as I remember, when I was getting out of my middle school, they were just bringing music in to my middle school, and it's cool. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they totally should, because, you know, I mean, fuck, it's music, you know.
Yeah.
Keep that shit alive.
Is School of Rock still around?
I think so. Yeah, they're all over. There's like one in San Diego, like one here, one there in America, one there in America. You know.
That's cool. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, right. When I first heard about it, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go to the School of Rock." That's pretty dope. Yeah. Played a few shows with them. Did like
did a
covers
Who
of the
thing,
Who's.
yeah.
Yeah, the Who songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right. I think I can still play Boris the Spider on guitar. And super
Yeah.
simple. Well, by tab, you know.
School of Rock, everybody.
It makes amazing rappers.
I was wondering. This is something I've been trying to figure out in San Diego. Can you describe San Diego's place in the music industry?
Tell you the truth, I don't even know. I mean, we're here. Everyone knows of San Diego, I feel. Maybe not everyone, but I feel like a lot of people know about just you know, San Diego. They want to go to San Diego. It's a great spot. But musically, I don't know, man. I mean, like, I knew a local band that's gotten big in the hardcore scene. A few friends that are, like, even rapping pretty somewhat big now, but it's like, I don't know, it's not... Rap is coming from, right now at least, Atlanta, Compton, and, like, LA. That's pretty much where rap is, like, mainly coming from. And I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, you can't do it somewhere else, because I'm gonna do it. You know, fuck the bullshit. I'll be heard, and then, you know, boom, 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 close enough to LA too.
Is there like
But,
a local scene here that you're a part of? Like,
Yeah,
are there places
kind
that you
of.
go out and do open
Sometimes.
mics?
I mean, there's like a local cipher once a month that I go to. Local San Diego rappers come up, come and meet, and then like I meet with my friends in the cipher all the time. I'm not 21 yet, so I don't go to like all the shows yet. I go to Soma here and there. They got they used to just be like a hardcore venue, and but now they're like bringing some cool people. Like I saw E40, Chance the Rapper, Logic, Dizzy Wright, Jeezy. Huge rappers there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, have you ever like performed at Soma?
No, not yet. I've played a couple just little shows with my buddy. We had a little music group back like 2 years ago. We're separate now, doing our own things. But not too much on shows. I'm kind of looking forward to that now because I do have my mixtape with all my beats, you know, and so that'll be fun.
Can I ask you what it's been like being Daego's agent? Or like how
Well,
long
I'm his
you've done
momager, so yeah.
Momager.
When
Yeah,
he
that's
was
good.
little, he displayed artistic ability, and I was like, "Oh God, thank you," because I've only been artistic, you know. And I thought, what if I have a little football player? And it's like I wouldn't know
I
what
don't
to
know
do.
how to love
I
that.
wouldn't know what to do. So I've been able to facilitate his creativity through his life, which has just been wonderful because like we share a lot of innate abilities, and we connect on a lot of levels where I don't think parent and child often do. So it's been a really good
true.
experience.
You've been kind of a mythical creature in my mind, like since I met Daego. Like when he said he was gonna bring you, I
Likewise,
was like,
darling.
Aw, thanks. When he said he was gonna bring you, I was like, finally, like I'm gonna see if this person is real, or if Daego's had an imaginary mom this whole time.
She's so awesome, man. She did this and traveled the world.
So that, yeah, well, so that's just like really like good fate or like good karma that like
Yeah,
y'all two
yeah.
have gotten to like have your lives together.
I even got her to freestyle with me one time.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Do you have it recorded?
No.
You didn't like pull out your phone?
And I wrote a rap for him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little. That's deep.
That's a heavy rap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll bring tears to your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sometimes just hearing Daego flow brings tears to my
Yeah.
eyes. Like just your voice.
Oh shucks.
Sometimes you like play your music and I'm like,
I'll be back in a second.
Aw.
Aw,
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Well, I think it's so. Yeah, I think it's really important to have the support of a parent. Like, if you want to be, if you have been someone who's like known that you want to be an artist since you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It was just pretty.
when I
Off
think
top.
of you as a kid, I always imagine the story where you told your mom that you wanted to have long hair. Because
Because
Interview with the
Vampire.
Vampire.
Yeah, that was the reason. And it was like before kindergarten or in kindergarten, I think that I saw that movie. Already loved vampires. Kind of took a break from loving vampires when Twilight became big.
Yeah, there were a lot of vampire movies that you
Yeah,
loved.
right?
Yeah.
But now there's that new vampire. I mean, it's not super new anymore, but Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
That brought a little fanboy vampire in me back. Oh, fuck yeah. Vampires are wicked.
The myself part.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Even like being like a little boy telling your mom like I want to have long hair and your mom being like cool. That's like pretty unheard of for me. Like I don't hear I grew up with like really strong like gender stereotypes, and like when I look back on things like that in my upbringing, I feel like that really restricted my ability to express myself.
Yeah.
And like something like being able to decide how you want your hair to express you,
Yeah.
I feel like is a really important thing to have as a human. Like,
I've
as
never
an
even
artist.
thought about that.
I
but
feel
yeah, thank you, Mom.
really strongly that we were lucky not to have a male homophobe or, strictly, real tight ass in our family, because he was allowed to cry when he needed to, or be artistic, or wear pretty clothes, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I didn't wear
Yeah.
girls' clothes
Yeah, but I mean,
when I was young.
pretty colors. You
Yeah.
enjoyed pretty things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you weren't
I was just
afraid
clearing that up for the podcast.
You weren't afraid to say that's pretty.
Yeah.
And so many things that I see other families go through. That's like, I am so grateful you didn't have to have that.
I hope there's some like almost new moms hearing this or whatever, and maybe they'll catch some good ideas from you.
I feel that the people I know who have parented the way that you have are all artists. And like
Kind of makes sense.
yeah. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so drawn to creating art is because you can get past like those social standards and stereotypes that like logic can't entirely break down, and like you can't, like tradition is entrenched like in like our beings even, so it's so hard to like separate from the values.
It's a lot in America too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that Bible Belt, and people are just not worldwide conscious
Yeah.
in America. And outside of America, you get a lot more freedom to be who you innately are. So my travels have allowed me to see that. So travel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, yeah, what I want to be doing. But yeah, I think that the creative process, one of the reasons it's been so important for me is like break down the like sort of neuroses that I developed through my childhood of like growing up and really like personally restricting environments where like the colors that you wear are like controlled not only by your parents but like everybody like around you, you know, or like the cut of your pants. Like,
Well, see, I
all that
certainly
kind of
got
stuff.
bullied when I was young
Yeah.
for shit like that, you know,
Yeah.
like the long hair. Oh, they were always making fun of me like I looked like a girl. Oh, you look like a girl, bro. You look like a girl.
But you did look like a girl.
Well, but they decided to make fun of me for it.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
it's not
because
that you're
kids are
mad
evil.
about what they're saying.
Yeah,
It's that you're
exactly.
mad about the tone they're using.
Yeah. It's like, and?
Well, you said you wanted to say a little bit about your piece, Boston?
Oh yeah, so basically, I got like I said, it's 6 tracks. 4th track is Boston. That was that one I re-recorded because that was the second one I did out of this mixtape. But it sounded like shit. I was kind of trying to hit it like a Silly's, like almost Migos or whatever, like Young Thug, and Boston, like auto-tune and shit. I was like, this will be auto-tune gold. I was wrong. But I had showed it to a friend of mine who really loved it. He really loved it, and I don't even know, man. It wasn't even like 4 days after that, maybe 5, that he ended up taking his own life. So I knew I had to re-record it by then. You know, I already knew because it was like I was dissing it in my own head every time I listened to it. So I was like, if I just re-record clean vocals. So I gave him like a few little shout outs. So that one's now dedicated to my friend Dalton James Bond, and I for like the artist on it, instead of just being Daego like in the iTunes thing, I put and DJ Bond because that would be like his initials. So yeah.
Since I was young, redoing this song, it's for a homie, because we're forever bossing, bro. Bossing. Off of fun. Bossing. Tossing and turning. Learning the swerve early. Getting on the nerve.
There is like a crazy thing that happens to your vocals when something like extremely traumatic happens.
Right.
And you go in the studio.
Yeah.
And like you keep working.
Dude. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel like, you know, I like to record a bunch, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I like rapping, you know? So, especially when, like, I mean, like when I don't have to think of shit to freestyle, but I have this beat that I want to record these lyrics on, I'll do it like 10, 20 times because I like
Start
rapping.
making new sounds.
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
start, like,
But
connecting
like
it different.
halfway through that, man, like I swore like I saw him and like it got really like emotional there for a second. But then
Yeah.
like I felt it, you know, and I was like, this is it. That was almost like my little like, you know, that was the closure almost for it.
Em told me before that I sing better when I have tears in my eyes.
Oh, wow. I bet.
Like it does, and like I find that it's true. Like
Yeah.
if I like I've had to work on like letting myself cry and things
Mhm.
like that in my life, and if I'm in the studio and something intense happens,
Yeah.
and it, like the way you saw him,
Mm-hmm.
if I just like cry, like I've like figured out how to like continue rapping or like,
Nice.
continue singing.
Without the
yeah, and just like
Yeah.
let the tears like flow down.
Nice,
Like
yeah.
and like keep
And it just-
going,
it
and
almost
like,
hits it, like,
opens your voice
serene,
so
yeah.
much.
Because
Yeah.
not doing that, there's like a physical pain as well.
Yeah.
To not letting yourself cry.
Yeah, if you don't let the tears out, then your throat
Oh, yeah.
tightens.
Closes up.
Exactly.
So, but if you can like cry at the same time,
Yeah.
Crying's a big part of our music making process.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Written.
Heard that.
Someone once told me that, and he was like from Puerto Rico, and so he was like definitely raised to like not cry and stuff. And he was like, he said that it was important to cry every day. He was like, I cry every single day. I go home and I cry. And I was like, I'm gonna remember that, man.
Wow. Yeah, right.
He was
That's
like a religion professor at my college. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the
Yeah,
show
thank you.
and for sharing with us.
That was yeah. This will be dope.
Yeah.
You're
So-
welcome back.
You want to shout out your SoundCloud?
Oh yeah. All right, check me out on SoundCloud. It's Daego, Daeg-O. I don't know what I'm gonna just put up for YouTube yet, but I mean, just look it up. Me, Myself, and I mixtape Daego. You can find me on Facebook, just Daeg Ferrick, whatever's connected to my mom, Mickey Ferrick. Instagram, Daego SD, Daegosd. Friday, it's coming out. Me, Myself, and I, MMI. Woo!
Daego time.
Daego time. AKA taco time. It's always Tuesday in my world.
Beef and a touch of salt.
Yeah, right?
And do you want to say our...
Sign out.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm Nemo Wayfinder.
And I'm Emsel.
And this has been
music. And this has been
Music in Transition.
Thank you so much for listening. And we're going to record 5 seconds of silence really quickly.
Boss.
Good enough.
I wish people happy 420 on my Facebook page this morning.
Yeah.